Good morning, everybody. This is Dr. Eric Balkavage, and I am just doing some studying, and I got a question regarding, or from the Methylation Madness seminar, regarding what's the best test to help our patients. And I thought instead of just answering the one comment, I would I do a quick short video presentation, and that will kind of answer it for everybody. By all means, to evaluate the methylation process, is the best test is HDRI's methylation panel, in my opinion. It's not the best, but it is the best of the methylation panels. But I think before we get to that step, there's a couple other tests that I think are really important to run to get a better concept of where your patients are from a foundational standpoint. Without a doubt, I run a complete metabolic panel on every patient that I see. Most of you guys are familiar with those panels. And while I think it's a great test to look for overt pathologies and disease states and dysfunctions, anemia patterns, whether they're clinical or subclinical, we can look at thyroid function, we can look at inflammatory markers, and we can gain a ton of information from a metabolic panel. But I think there's a test that's really more important for us, a more important foundational test for us as functional medicine practitioners, or as we can call ourselves, investigative medicine practitioners, because really what we're doing in functional medicine or investigative medicine is trying to find not only what's wrong, but why it's wrong and how to fix it. And so I think an organic acids test, and better yet, an organic acids test with a combination of an amino acids test, gives us foundational information that is critical to getting our patients well. It really gives us an intimate look at our individual patients' physiology, multiple levels of their physiology. We can get a look at what their energy production cycles look like. How well are they burning their fats? How well are they burning their carbohydrates and proteins? We can see that on an organic acid panel. How well is Krebs cycle working? How well are their energy production systems working? We can see this on an organic acid panel. We can get a look at their oxidative state and how well they're handling that oxidative state. We can get a look at micronutrient deficiencies like vitamins and minerals, which are critical for a ton of enzymatic reactions in the body. We can get a look at whether they have adequate substrate for those reactions to occur. We can look at if they have blocks in those energy production cycles and how best to support it based on what we see on the organic acids panel. We can get a look at dysbiosis markers. We can find out if the patient has dysbiosis, if they have the indicators of bacterial overgrowth, if they have indicators of yeast overgrowth. We can get a look at neurotransmitter production and neurotransmitter breakdown. There's just so much information we can get off an organic acid test that I think it's a foundational test for every functional medicine practitioner. And I think everybody should be doing one on almost every patient that they see. Now, that being said, I think there's a reason why most people don't do the test. And that is because most people don't understand the complexities of what's on that test to really make it of value to them to do the test for their patient. We never want to sit in front of a patient with a test that we don't fully understand, because the one time you do that, you know that's the patient that's going to ask you all those detail type questions, and you don't want to be put on the spot and not have the answer. So what my goal is to get everybody to start doing those panels on their patients if they're not doing them already. And I'm going to start to put some posts, some videos on the site, on the board, that explains some of those sections of the organic acid panel so that you can start to understand, at least to some degree, what that section of the organic acid panel means, how to interpret that to what your patient is dealing with, and how to go about supporting that patient based on what you see on the panel. I won't be able to go into the depth that I will maybe at a weekend seminar, but I think it's important, especially for those people who are going to start trying to go to the next level of support with their patients. I think that test is critically important. You know, one of the things that patients often come into as a symptom is chronic tiredness, chronic fatigue, and lack of energy. And I think a lot of times the go-to test is an adrenal stress index to see if they're what the state of their adrenals are. And while the test is good, and I think it's an important test, it really doesn't tell us the why. It can give us some ideas of how to support them, at least initially or in the short term, but it doesn't identify what the underlying factors are that are causing that adrenal fatigue. I think you can get more of that information from the organic acids test, and you can do the organic acids test first to get an idea of, all right, how best can I support this person's energy production systems so that I can get them feeling better pretty quickly. So that's it for today. I'll get this on the board. If you have any questions, post the questions below the video on the board, or you can PM me and look for in the next couple weeks some video posts on different parts of the organic acid panel, and check the board for the next Methylation Madness seminar. We'll be doing another level 1 because I think there's a lot of people who didn't get to the one I did initially. I'll give a little bit more time, maybe 3 to 4 months out. I'll get it posted for when the next methylation seminar is going to be, and I'll be posting another potential seminar that both Dr. Brady Wyrick and I will be offering in sometime later in the year. All right, take care. Have a great day.